We get some old school Patrick division talk here. Like we already said earlier, Shesterkin with the all-time troll of the Penguins. He shuts them out, gives them a little wave after. We don't see that too often. He only allowed 4 goals versus Pittsburgh in 3 games, and 3 of those goals were power play goals. I mean, if the Rangers drop Pittsburgh going into that first round, man, you got to think the Rangers are going to have the full confidence with that. Rangers spanked Ottawa 5-1. They moved into a temporary first-place tie with Carolina in the Metro. Then the next day, Carolina beat Anaheim to take back sole possession of first place. Jordan Staal had his first regular season hat trick in 14 years. His first hat trick of any category in 10 years. Chris Kreider, 49 goals on the year. That's 21 more than his previous high. 25 of them on the power play. He's got 5 more years left at $6.5 million. Unreal deal by the Rangers there to get a 50-goal. He's going to be a 50-goal scorer soon at that price. What you think of the wave there, Whit? See you later, boys.
You know what? As a Penguins guy and a former Penguins player, shout out Ray bodying me at the Garden and spilling my beer. I loved it. And I love stuff like this because all it is entertainment. We talk about this all the time. Yes, it is the players' lives. It is their livelihood. It is what they do. But for the fans, it is true entertainment. And when I see stuff like that happen, and I understand Penguins fans being pissed off, and I understand Rangers fans loving it, and I also understand some Rangers fans almost like, oh, that's bulletin board material. Don't give him that. Don't give him that. Don't give Sidney Crosby that type of ammo. I think he was actually waving at Malkin, somebody said, waving goodbye to Gino. But I loved it because that's what sports is all about, right? That's the passion. That's about beating a rival, a division rival on home ice who you've dominated all season and just telling them to suck it as they leave the arena. Yeah. So you saw the fans waving, but I'm not going to say as a Penguins fan, it doesn't really sit too well with me because now I know we have a reason to really hate your guts and a reason to really be able to knock you out of the playoffs and then wave in your face as you're shaking hands. Bye-bye, Igor. Bye-bye.
In the line, right in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, maybe he should be paying Malkin's fine because he ended up snapping the next game, letting out some of that aggression from that little taunting wave. Now, I agree from the entertainment perspective, but if I was a New York Rangers fan, I'd be shitting bricks right now. And as far as Igor Shesterkin, yes, he's got the Penguins' balls in a mason jar, only allowing
in one. In a vice, maybe one of those stick vices.
Any way you want. He's got the bondage chute. He's got the hole in the massage table with the boxing gloves on, beating the wheels off their bag, however you want to describe it. But like you said, the last thing that Crosby and gang need is a little extra bulletin board material going into playoffs if, in fact, they do play against each other. But the way that this kid's kicking and the way that the Rangers are playing, and I'm not even saying that the Canes are playing that bad, they might end up fucking taking that top spot. So credit to the fucking Rangers for still pouring it on and getting it done and getting some career years from some of the big boys. As far as the Canes were concerned, I think they ended up dropping those 4 games and have been 500 ever since. But
Can I give a Canes take, Biz?
Yeah.
And it's not really that crazy to say because I've seen it before and I think I might have mentioned it before, but they don't scare me. They don't scare me one bit. And I love Freddie Anderson. I think he should be up for the Vezina, and he's had this hell of a year, and it's not even about him. They don't have a superstar. And Sebastian Aho is a great player, but he's not a true game breaker. He's not a Kucherov. He's not a Crosby. He's not a Panarin. He's not. And I think Canes fans would argue that, but I also think there's a lot of Canes fans out there who worry that they do not have a true game breaker. And I do not see them as true cup contenders.
That's why when you asked me who I'd rather play for the Leafs, I said Carolina. I just and you know, more so towards the end of the season, they're not playing as good as they were, and they do rely so heavily on that team defense and not allowing goals, where, you know, they got to focus on maybe scoring more. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting here. Still a lot of hockey to be played. I think that playoff positioning and them battling for that top spot in the division is going to play a lot into who I decide to end up going with in the first round matchups.